George Russell has finally broken his silence about his relationship with Carmen Mundt, and now the Mercedes star has taken a major step forward by getting engaged to his longtime partner after years together in the F1 paddock. Russell proposed to Carmen during the F1 summer break and shared 4 special photos from the proposal on Instagram, announcing the engagement with a simple ring emoji and nothing else. The news quickly spread across the entire F1 paddock, with stars like Alex Albon, Oscar Piastri, Kimi Antonelli, Carlos Sainz, and Pierre Gasly all rushing to congratulate the couple. And Alex Albon's hilarious reaction: "About damn time." But who exactly is Carmen Mundt? How long have George and Carmen been together? And what does this engagement mean for Russell as he returns to his F1 title challenge? Let's take a closer look. It happened quietly on a Sunday evening, right in the middle of Formula One's summer shutdown. No press conference, no big reveal at a Grand Prix, just George Russell, his phone, and 4 photographs that said everything words couldn't. The post carried nothing but a heart and a ring emoji. That was it. That was the whole caption, and honestly, it didn't need anything more. For a driver who had just come off a grueling first half of the season, capped by a tough weekend in Hungary where he openly admitted he needed a break, this felt like the perfect way to close out the chapter. Russell headed off somewhere warm and sunny to recharge, and it turns out he had a much bigger plan in mind than just relaxing on a beach. Within minutes of the post going live, it was everywhere. Fan pages, F1 news outlets, and most tellingly his own colleagues in the paddock started flooding the comments. What made the moment land even harder was how understated it all was. No grand statement, no lengthy caption explaining the story behind the proposal, just 4 photographs and a single emoji, letting the moment speak entirely for itself. So who is the woman who just became George Russell's fiancée? Carmen Mundt isn't new to the Formula One world at all. She's been a familiar face trackside for years now, regularly spotted supporting Russell from the garage and the paddock during race weekends. Unlike some F1 partners who actively caught the spotlight, Carmen and George have kept things fairly private, choosing to let their relationship unfold away from the cameras as much as possible in a sport that rarely allows anyone that luxury. That low-key approach has clearly worked in their favor, despite Russell's profile as one of the most recognizable young drivers on the grid. Details about how they met and the exact length of their relationship have mostly stayed out of the tabloids, which, if anything, made this announcement land even harder. It wasn't a relationship played out for headlines. It was real life, finally being shared on the couple's own terms. Now here's where it gets fun, because the reactions from Russell's fellow drivers were arguably just as entertaining as the announcement itself. Alex Albon led the charge with his now famous line, joking that it was about damn time, poking fun at his friend for apparently taking his sweet time to pop the question. Oscar Piastri kept it short and sweet with a simple congratulations. Kimi Antonelli, Russell's own Mercedes teammate, sent his well wishes calling him mate. Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly both chimed in with their own excited messages, while Sergio Perez reacted with a string of applause emojis. Even Charles Leclerc's wife, Alexandra Milena, got in on the celebration, gushing about how genuinely happy she was for the couple, adding her own warm message to the growing pile of replies. It's a small but telling detail because it shows just how tightly knit this new generation of F1 personal lives has become. These aren't just teammates and rivals anymore. They're friends celebrating each other's biggest life moments. On-track rivalries set aside completely. Here's the thing, Russell isn't the only driver walking down this road recently, and that's part of what makes this story so interesting. Charles Leclerc got married earlier this year after announcing his own engagement back in 2025. Alex Albon, the same guy cracking jokes in Russell's comments section, also recently proposed to his partner. Suddenly it feels like the F1 grid is going through its own wave of personal milestones, almost in parallel with all the drama unfolding on track. It says something about where these drivers are in their lives right now, a generation of racers who grew up together, competed against each other since karting days, and are now hitting major personal milestones around the same time. It's a nice reminder that behind the helmets and the media training, there are real relationships, real timelines, and real people trying to build a life outside of a 24-race calendar. And with a schedule that keeps them apart from loved ones for weeks at a stretch, moments like these carry even more weight when they finally arrive. But let's talk about the timing, because this engagement didn't happen in a vacuum. It comes at the end of a genuinely frustrating first half of the season for Russell. Yes, he's already picked up 2 Grand Prix wins, but he's also been hit by reliability issues that have cost him crucial points, and right now he sits 3rd in the drivers' standings. What's more concerning for Russell is the gap to his own teammate, Kimi Antonelli, who currently leads the championship. That's a tough pill to swallow, being outscored by the guy sitting in the garage right next to you. And then there's Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, still lurking as a threat every single race weekend. So when Russell admitted after Hungary that he badly needed time away, it wasn't just driver fatigue talking. It was a driver who needed a genuine reset, and it turns out that reset came with a ring in his pocket. Mercedes have shown real flashes of competitive pace. Emerson Fittipaldi breaks his silence on George Russell's claims that Mercedes is treating him unfairly and giving Kimi Antonelli a better car. The F1 legend has responded strongly, making it clear that Russell needs to stop making excuses and prove himself on the track. Fittipaldi backed Kimi Antonelli, saying that a 19-year-old driver is already ahead of Russell and showing incredible speed and talent. His message to Russell was simple: instead of finding problems within the team, focus on performance, deliver results, and prove your worth like a champion. One of the most surprising storylines of the entire F1 season, the collapse of George Russell's championship charge, and the rise of the man nobody saw coming, his own teammate, Kimi Antonelli. At the start of the year, Russell was the clear favorite. New power unit regulations, a Mercedes seat with no Hamilton looming over him, and an opening round win in Australia to boot. Everything pointed to this being George Russell's year. Instead, it's turned into something else entirely, and now, F1 legend Emerson Fittipaldi is weighing in on what's gone wrong and what Russell needs to do to fix it. Let's rewind. George Russell entered this season as the man Mercedes was building around. He won the season opener in Australia, and for a moment, it looked like the championship was his to lose. Since then, just one more win. Meanwhile, his 19-year-old teammate has racked up 6 victories and turned the Mercedes garage upside down. Russell now sits 3rd in the drivers' standings, a staggering 59 points behind Antonelli. 59 points. That's not a rookie hanging around the fringes of the title fight. That's a teenager dominating his experienced teammate in his rookie season. What happened? A mix of reliability problems and, more concerning for Russell, a genuine lack of raw pace. The car that won in Melbourne hasn't been the car showing up since, or at least not in Russell's hands. Think about what that actually means for a driver of Russell's caliber. This isn't a backmarker complaining about an uncompetitive car. This is a driver who beat Lewis Hamilton, who finished on multiple podiums, who was widely tipped as a future world champion, suddenly finding himself unable to extract the same pace from the same machinery as a teenager in his first full season. That's the part that should worry Mercedes and excite everyone else. Because when the same car produces 6 wins for one driver and just 2 for the other, the conversation stops being about the car entirely. It becomes about the man behind the wheel, and right now, that conversation isn't going Russell's way. Kimi Antonelli isn't just having a good rookie season. He's rewriting what a rookie season is supposed to look like. Fittipaldi, who has known Antonelli since his karting days,